So good. So good.
I'm a time traveler from the year 2025, and I've come here to kill you, Hitler.
Oh, not again. I'm never gonna have enough time to finish these paintings with all of these time travelers trying to kill me.
Well, I'm going to succeed.
Before you pull the trigger, can I just ask why? Why do all of you people want to kill me?
Isn't it obvious? I'm a progressive, a liberal, a fighter for social justice. And you are a fascist who implemented a reign of terror. And while the effects of your policies devastated the world for decades, soon we will be able to take back the White House, and we will be able to use the government to force people to follow our great ideas.
You want to use government power to force your ideas on the populace. Me too! That's fantastic!
What? No. Ugh. You and I have nothing in common. What I'm saying is there are people in our time with dangerous ideas, and we need to silence them.
Silencing those who disagree with you. I do that too! Oh, wunderbar! Oh, the Nazi movement will not die with me.
Don't give me that! I'm enlightened, and you're as bad as... well, as Hitler. Listen, what I'm trying to say is we are very close to implementing a utopia, as long as we can get rid of some certain undesirable people groups.
Yes, like the Jews.
Yes, like the Jews. Oh.
So, in the future,
Oh.
you also do not like the Jews?
Well, no. But we don't believe in segregating all the races like you do. I mean, except for, like, graduation ceremonies. And dorms. And hiring practices. Oh, and admissions policies. That sort of thing.
I, too, am a fan of the segregation. I'm sorry, I have to ask, is this a real firearm, or is this some kind of toy for kinder?
It's a flare gun. I'm trying not to support America's toxic gun culture. I'm a firm believer in gun control.
Gun control! This was one of my ideas, too. Ban them from the undesirables. Yes, look here. Oh, and your shirt. This is an organization founded by Margaret Sanger. Yes?
Wait, you know about Margaret Sanger?
Jawohl, of course. Oh, she's such a lovely person.
No. She's a fighter for reproductive rights, for women's empowerment,
And the eradication of undesirable populations by means of eugenics. Brilliant lady, very inspiring. I must use some of her ideas in our socialized healthcare system.
Socialized healthcare? That's not your thing. That's our thing.
No, it's very much my thing. Did you know that Nazi means National Socialist German Workers' Party? Nazi is just more catchy. Nazi. Just rolls off the tongue.
No. This can't be true. This has to be some sort of mistake. We are nothing alike. You're Adolf Hitler, evil right-wing fascist dictator, and I'm a feminist restorative justice advocate. And a vegetarian.
You're a vegetarian? Me too!
Okay, I am so confused right now. I came here with a clear goal in mind to kill the most evil man who I've ever lived. Besides Ronald Reagan. But now that I'm meeting you in person, you're not at all what I thought you were. And your painting is actually really good. What do you call it?
I call it Ein Reich ohne Juden.
Wow. I don't know what that means, but it sounds beautiful.
It does, doesn't it?
Hey guys, welcome to the program. Will you give me a finger or two or three? Yes, hit that share, like, follow, subscribe button and share this program. This one's going to be a wildly controversial topic in this program. We're going to talk about, is Erika Kirk a honeypot inserted agent operative? Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, of course. It's got to be something to talk about if Candace is talking about it, Tucker, and all these other people talking about it. And of course, it's the Jews. Anyway, we're going to take a very logical look at this. I think you're going to be shocked by what I show you. I truly do. I think you're going to be shocked by what I show you. So you're not going to want to look away. Okay. So please like, share, follow this program, subscribe right now. Also, so you get my notifications when I'm on the air. Yes, I talk about controversial stuff, and I just kind of look at it from the analytical standpoint. Let's forensically autopsy it and take a look at it. Today's program is brought to you by the fine folks at Goldco. These guys are the greatest. I'm telling you. Just, you can have sponsors or whatever in your program, and they don't really care who you are. Goldco, besides myself being a client, Goldco took the time to get to know me personally and reaches out, and we talk, and we dialogue. Not many companies do that anymore. It's just a numbers game, not for Goldco. And that's why I partnered with them. But more importantly, I need you to understand what's potentially coming. How I come at it from this angle, it's not about investing in gold per se. It's about covering your ass. It's that simple, folks. It really is. And the ask that I'm asking you to do is really simple, because knowledge is what fixes these things. I'm just asking you to go to jovanlovesgold.com and request your free gold and silver kit today, because now is the time to protect your money with gold and silver. It's just true. That's all there is to it. But I am telling you, an adjustment coming. Our system is, in fact, going to move to the digital dollar. That's how they're going to track everything, get rid of everything. Think about it. All the people that work, quote unquote, in the underground economy. See, I think it should be in reverse. Let me give you an example. I don't think there should be income tax. Let me tell you why. Here's how I mean it. I think it should be added to everything you purchase. See, nobody gets money and then just completely holds on to every dime or penny of it. Not the billionaires, not the dollar heirs, not the people who work in the cash society and get paid under the table. What do? They have to eat and drink and travel and pay just like everything else. I think it should be a few pennies on every transaction. Then nobody escapes it. It's so painfully easy to fix it. You don't even have to file a return. It doesn't really freaking matter. It doesn't matter on every little bit, right? A little bit more added to your whatever, if they're going to have an income tax. And it's all accounted for. The billing system's there. Everything's there. It's that simple. And if you hoard your money, good for you. You actually help have a more stable country. That's the way it should be, or it could be. But if we go to this digital dollar, they're going to lop off part of that dollar. Some people say it could be as much as 32 cents. That everybody will be shaved down. And that's just the way it is. And that's why we have to go to a digital economy. But nothing's hidden past that standpoint. They will render cash useless, and it'll be for a period of time that you have to turn your cash in and convert it to digital, or it will be worth zero. Mark my words. Get off your ass and make sure you can cover your ass, because they can't do that with gold and silver. You just got to understand that they cannot do it with gold and silver. Okay, let's talk about today's program. You're probably hearing all this stuff about Erika Kirk as a honeypot inserted agent operative and a supposed leaked Department of Justice audio of her recruiting young punani for Epstein. And we're going to talk about that. So here's the question I'm asking. Is Erika Kirk a honeypot inserted agent operative? And we're going to have a discussion of logic versus lunacy. And we're just going to look at it from two standpoints of why are we seeing what's going on with people like Candace wackadoodling it. And it may make sense to you, I think, for the very first time. This came up organically for me. I was having a discussion on my locals, which, by the way, immediately following this program, we'll hop over to locals. We're going to begin my series on Muslims, the dangers, and what you need to know. It begins today. So watch for a link towards the end of the program. You're going to get a direct link to hop over to my locals, and we're going to begin your discussion, the discussion and your education. But at some point on all of this, we have to separate fact from fiction. This is the very first time I've ever talked about Erika. And in my locals, it happened yesterday organically. And I thought, you know what? Now it's the time I got to talk about it. And we got to talk about what's true. Okay? So watch for the link towards the end of the program. But share this program right now, folks. We're going to get started. And we're going to answer, maybe, I'm going to give you the information. You're going to make up your own mind. And I really don't care what you think. You're an adult. I'm going to treat you like an adult. You decide what you want to believe. But is Erika Kirk a honeypot inserted agent operative? The logic versus lunacy. Got about 2 minutes. We'll get started.
Rennie Good was a gifted soul, a writer and a poet and a mother, wow. She tried to hit an agent with her car, oh no. Pop motherfucker, now she's gone. Yeah. Being a fucking liberal is a mental disease. Blue-haired and fuckables with the septum ring. You are not a hero, you're a fucking disease. You fuck around and find out it's what it is. Jeffrey Pretty was a Jewish homo. Started talking shit to protect a chomo. He was getting nicked when he pulled a gun. Bam, motherfucker, now you're gone. Being a fucking liberal is a mental disease. Blue-haired and fuckables with the septum ring. You are not a hero, you're a fucking disease. Fuck around and find out what that is.
Not fixing 2020 will damn our nation forever. The historic Maricopa County full forensic audit effort processed 20,895,610 digital and forensic images of varying formats, resulted in 208 million individual evidence-proof files. The system processed over 58 billion forensic measurements, resulting in over 2 trillion individual base computations. No hopium, no hype, just hardcore forensic evidence. Please make sure the Maricopa County Full Forensic Audit Archives survive. Donate now. So if you want what happened in the 2020 election fixed, then please donate to protect and secure this historic evidence. We can't do it without you. We need you. America needs you.
Warning. The following program has been rated Gilligaff and is intended for open-minded audiences. If the truth offends you, or if you are allergic to focused intensity, intellectual athleticism, or the occasional F-bomb or even irreverent humor, please switch off now. If your delicate sensibilities need to be worried about or addressed, might we recommend the Underwater Basket Weaving channel to you. Otherwise, sit back, enjoy the wisdom, insight, and wicked sense of humor.
Cut the crap. How many times a day do you want to say that to politicians? The elite, the loony liberals, the fake news media. In the gender-confused, emotional socialist snowflake crowd, cut the crap is your secret weapon for fighting for our freedoms and our great republic. It all begins with a massive mental enema, freeing you from the toxic news and politically correct views, which constipate your consciousness with stinking thinking. Your host, Jovan Hutton Pulitzer. He's known for calling out politicians and telling them to cut the crap. You've seen him on virtually every television network and listened to him on Coast to Coast Radio. And now he's here to help you learn to fight for America. Culture, race, and American politics. They all have one thing in common. They all need to cut the crap. Now, here's your host, Jovan Hutton Pulitzer.
Okay, guys, it's time for a mental enema. Think about it. I'm going to stick a knowledge hose, my hose, right in your ear, and I'm going to let it flow, baby. And you're either going to be enlightened in knowledge or little milk duds and kernels of corns and all kinds of other milk chocolate crap is going to start flowing out of your ears because it is time for a mental enema. Visualize it. Visualize it. Because there's so much crap stuck in people's heads. It's the way the system operates. It's what the system does. I've been watching this go on for a while with Candace, who I always thought was smart and a cutie. Now, I wouldn't piss on her. Well, I wouldn't piss on her if she was on fire. Just telling you the truth. I'm always transparent. Pat says Candace is doing this libel and scandal for money and clicks and her own fame. It's disgusting. I think she's being paid to do it. And also to defame the Jews. Okay? And you're right. There's no evidence. So let's just kind of find out what the evidence is. Let's do this together. Remember, I am a trained forensic researcher. It's the truth. That's why I did the forensic audit. All the patent work I do and why I'm so successful at it is the forensic abilities I have. I'm glad I found my calling. So many people, right? Literally can be smart and have talent, but never get to apply their talent. I told a reporter one time from the New York Times, I think God loves me and God loves me twice. They actually wrote that in a very slam way against me and against God. What I said was, God gave me talents, but also God showed me the light to use my talents. That's a gift because you can have, derelicts, PhDs laying in the, in the gutter. So I'm pleased. Now, the other side of me, I actually thought growing up I was going to be a gynecologist. True. And then I decided not to because I thought I'd eat up all my profits. But what we're going to do today is we're going to really deeply analyze Erika Kirk. Is she a honeypot, inserted, agent, operative? I want you to think about that. I just want you to think about that. I want you to think about what you see, what you hear, and everything else. What I'm going to do is, I don't get tainted, although I love taint. I don't get tainted by other people's stuff. Why and how? I don't watch other people's stuff. Let me give you an example. I'll give you a prime example. For me, I am a successful businessman, and I'm a businessman who's gotten my ass kicked. So I know both sides of the spectrum. Wildly successful in patents. It applies, my patents are on your mobile phone, apply to 15 billion global devices. I'm just one little old inventor, but yet my technology rides on every iPhone and every Android. There's not an individual in the world that does that. So I have a unique perspective on how things work. Yet, you now get your news from podcasters who have no background, never run a business, never done a business, Maybe they, flick a little placard on the corner for file your income tax or get a free pizza. And now they're your go-to news source. How stupid is that for the world? Mainstream media's BS. We know it. And we got rid of mainstream media. And we just swapped it for something else with even less standards than mainstream media. And we believe it's news. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to look at this forensically, just as if I would be investigating the next invention or the next thing. If you were to live in my world, in my regular business world, one day I might be looking at advanced building materials so we don't have to use trees, right? Something as strong as a big, thick decking board, but it can be made 1/8 of an inch thick. Or I might be over here and I'm studying advanced energy or micro energy grids, etc. And then we get to do this, and I'm what you see is what you get. This is me. I'm the real deal, right? And when I'm the real deal, I'm worried about, damn, did my fruit trees freeze? Had a freeze come through. I got a beautiful little olive egger chicken, right? I don't know if any of you have ever done this. I tried an experiment, and I went to where they cycle out the chickens that have been at the egg farms. They just use them to lay eggs. These things are so pitiful. And they cycle them out and you get them for, like $5 a piece. So I tried that. These hens were so worn out. I'm talking like Kamala Flappy used hens, right? And the poor little girls get their beaks cut off on the top. So they got this snub top beak and bottom beak. And that's because they go crazy in cages and they'll cannibalize each other. So I got a bunch of these. I put half of them in pens and I let half of them stay outside. They'd never run around on grass or anything, never, peck the ground, look for a worm or anything like that. And I just thought I'd try it out. And of course, you're not going to get a lot of eggs from them because their little punani's worn out. They're not egg makers anymore. I just thought, let me try it out as an experiment because I'm always testing what would do. So the ones I put in the cages with other chickens, they predominantly survived and thrived and put on weight, and that's good. The ones that I put outside with free-ranging chickens, all of them got obliterated by wildlife because they just didn't know to run. They didn't, except one. And it's the ugliest damn one you can imagine. She is just such an ugly sob story. She's an olive egger, right? Little blue-green eggs. Beautiful eggs. But this little girl, I'm talking, is Chelsea Clinton butt ugly. Chelsea Clinton looks attractive compared to this little girl. Just a floppy, droopy face. It's horrible, right? And she's the only one that survived. So she is one hen amongst 7 roosters. Now this little girl, possibly for the very first time in her life, she's laid an eggs, one here, one there, one here, one there, right? You kind of find them. For the very first time, she built her nest. And she's got this little nest, and she's got 8 eggs in it. And I'm going, holy smokes. This is like a survivor chicken. And damn it, ice and freeze came through, and now all those eggs are frozen. I am bound and determined to incubate her eggs and hatch her first generation of freedom, right? There's just something about this pure little chicken that got abused by the system and got her beak cut off and rescued her, and she made it. And I'm talking, she survived coyotes, she survived bobcats, she survived bears. I was really looking forward to, she's got 8 eggs in this nest. Doesn't really know how to build the nest. She set it right on the side of a building right under a water faucet, kind of out in the open. She's learning, but now she's got a nest for the first time in her life. And damn it, it froze and iced over, so they're not useful. So now I just got to pray she hangs in there and I can get some more eggs from her and hatch her, because I'm for the underdog, right? Now that's my daily life when I'm not doing the high-tech crap I have to do, which is just mentally freaking exhausting. But I am bound and determined to leave this little girl's legacy, right? Used by the system. She's put on some weight. She now knows how to forage. And for the first time in her precious little life has built a nest, right? I had two. And one got an abscess on the foot. And it kept on abscessing on her foot. It came from the cage, but getting out, and I would clean it out. And I accidentally killed her. I didn't mean to. But I clipped out the little infection and cleaned it out, and it kept on coming out. And one time I clipped it a little too long, and I didn't understand how the veins work in their foot when I opened it up. And I thought the bleeding would stop, and she just kind of laid down, went to sleep, and bled to death. Damn it. But it was horrible. So I got this one little girl. So I'm hoping she survives, because her little chickens, I am bound and determined they will not know the life their mother knew. And they'll be free to be what they're supposed to be. And damn, I was that close, and now these 8 eggs are frozen. Well, that's kind of me and my life. And she's got good roosters around her. So she's like golden, and she gets punani whacked. When one whacks her, then another one, then another one. The little girl must think that's normal, that 7 guys jump on her, right? Not in real life, but there's just 7 roosters out there in her, right? She just, okay, yeah, she doesn't know any different. Probably dumber than a stump, but damn it, this little girl survives. And I'm doing my best to just make sure I get a good generation up. So that's my daily life. Well, what I did was I was just kind of catching up with everybody on locals. Locals, if you follow me on my locals, and I've taken a big hit on my locals simply because if you notice my posting, my articles, everything has been down for several months. And it's been all the stuff going on behind the scenes that you're now seeing fruition of, whether it be Fulton or Maricopa County, whatever. There was just no bandwidth to do it. And so now I'm trying to get back at it. And a lot of people have left the locals because just I wasn't posting every day and being there for them. And I'm so very sorry for you. Right. And all of that supports the audit stuff. So it hurts really in a big way. So I was on locals and talking and somebody, and you guys that watch my program, your family and friends, even the people that automatically give me 2 thumbs down every broadcast, they use their 2 different accounts, but give me a thumbs down. They hate me enough to be here every day. All of you are family and friends. You can even be my hater, and I'm still not going to let bad stuff happen to you, right? Period. Hey, Maggie's here posting on my shit again, so I told her the other day to not do it. So bye-bye. You're gone. Don't post in my stream. Okay. Anyway. In this discussion, one person in our family here, because you're family, we're family and friends. That's why I'll be very candid with you. Actually started having doubts about Erika, and I never dealt with it before, ever. And so we had a conversation. And over the rest of the day, I thought about that conversation all damn day long, which is what made me do this broadcast. So we're going to analyze, is Erika Kirk a honeypot inserted agent operative? So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have just a business discussion with you first. Is that okay? Just a business discussion. I'm going to put on my business hat. I'm not going to be the kid from Taco Bell that sees everybody's talking about it and they're getting all these views. And so maybe I should say the same thing they say and I'll get more views. And you do not have to agree with me. But see, here's the way I look at it. If you consume that crap and it becomes your thought process, you're lost. Your mind gets erased. So I think people forget how this system really works. Okay, so I'm going to ask a few questions of you first. Okay? And I would love it if you would just answer. Okay, so here's question number one. And this is going to set the tone for the whole things. Okay, this is going to, because people will say, well, she's this, and look who her parents are. Let me give you an example of look who her parents are. Let me ask you a question. You watch me because you trust me, right? You watch me because I tell you the truth, right? You watch me because I bring the facts, right? Well, let me tell you about my parents. My father, who was a genius at math, God bless his soul, he died a few Thanksgivings ago, great at math. My father was illiterate. He could try to sit down and write a piece of a letter to you, and it would be like a child writing it to you. And that's my dad. Absolute workhorse. Hard-ass worker. Hard as shit. Right? That's my dad. My dad had a problem with women. I had to battle the same problem because that's what my dad passed to me. My dad was married 12 times. 12. I said, Dad, don't you know you can fuck them and not marry them? We laughed about it. My grandmother at 103, when one of my dad's wives died, I sat there with my grandmother next to the rocking chair, and when, everybody's bringing food and we're eating there. My grandmother laughs. How long do you think it'll take them to get the next one? Anyway, we just laughed our ass off. But that's my dad. My dad, there were 16 kids all total, 9 lived. He was the youngest boy of all of them, 2 girls behind him. So he grew up having to take care of 2 girls. So my dad was a caretaker of women. That's all he knew, a pleaser. And my dad was brutally tough, and I love my dad to death. But my dad always chose women over us kids, and we had a horrible life. And when I was 15 years old, and by the way, I'm answering this because somebody says, "Have you looked at Erika's parents?" I'm doing it. I'm doing a dictionary check with you. People can have different definitions of the same exact word. This is called the dictionary check. Long story short, when he married this one last woman when I was 15 years old and moved us across our state and took me out of school and everything, and I'd never missed a day of school in my life, he put me in a duplex. I'm thinking, great. My dad and I, we were hunting buddies and everything else. But it was still a father-son relationship. It wasn't like good friends. And he left me there and he moved in with the woman because she didn't want me around. Right? So I'm 15 years old, and true to my dad's training, I start fucking the 32-year-old single woman across the street. I can tell you why. She was a dead ringer of Lindsay Wagner. I was horribly immature. Of course, I'm 15. Right? Those of you who had parents married for 73 years, what a blessing. That was a blessing. I didn't have that blessing. My dad didn't drink. My father didn't do drugs or anything like that. Yeah, bionic taint. You know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. I was living high on the freaking hog. Now, for me, it wasn't really out of the ordinary because I was the new kid that moved to school, and it wasn't that I was bopping the 32-year-old woman who looked like Lindsay Wagner across the street, being a freshman. It wasn't out of the ordinary for me because if you just backed it up a little bit, when I was back in my hometown in San Antonio, it was probably a good time serendipitously anyway, because I was screwing my math teacher who was the cheerleading coach. I could have got her fired. She could have got fired. I'm telling you this because things people pass on. Anyway, I had a motorcycle wreck. Broke both my arms and both my legs. Put one of these holes up here in my head. It was a very bad wreck. My dad didn't even come to the hospital. When they called from the emergency room, says, he's a minor. We need your ability to treat him. You've got to give us okay. And I could hear the ex-wife, because I'm going in and out of consciousness. And she's like, yeah, Bob, get off the phone. And he gave my approval. Anyway, the next morning he shows up at the duplex, gathers all my shit in plastic bags. And I'm just being honest with you. My dad says, of course we're going to talk about Erika. There's a reason to this. Somebody posted, well, have you looked at her parents? There's a reason I'm telling you this. There is a reason I am telling you this. There is a methodology. We are going to talk about Erika. But somebody posted in the chat, well, have you looked at her parents? Well, I was going to save them the notice, but okay, let me go back and find that thing. Don't forget, I'm ADD. I read all this shit, right? You drive this program. Okay, hang on. Let me find it. There. Erika Kirk isn't what she seems. Great. Stick around. Nachos. Grab some nachos. Put a little more cheese and pepper on it. We're just going to go through it. And I'm glad you feel that way. Here it is. Deborah said, look who Erika's parents are. This is why I'm having this discussion. Will you let me do my program? Or you can send me your resume as producer of my fucking program. Okay? With that said, 2 broken arms, 2 broken legs, gathers all my shit, puts it in the car, takes me to his home with his new wife, lays me on the bed, or sets me at the dining table first. They had an adopted daughter. I called the 32-year-old woman to say thank you because it was her that actually got my meds from the hospital and got me home from the hospital. Not my dad, not my stepmother. That tells you how bad that was. So I called her to say thank you. I had my little adopted sister dial it. I'm 15 years old. Stepmother goes bitching. My dad gathers me up, takes me to the middle bedroom, which is their doll room. You know all those little fancy dolls people collect? Lays me in the middle of the bed. I'm just like E.T. in the closet. 2 broken arms, 2 broken legs. They couldn't cast them. Well, I had a couple of casts, but they couldn't cast the others. There are different types of casts waiting for swelling to go down. There's a moral to the story. Pay a fucking attention. In case you can't tell, that pisses me off. Anyway, I'm out because I'm drugged beyond oblivion for painkillers. Yeah, spooky fucking room of dolls. At 3:30 in the morning, my dad wakes me up and says the following: come on, we're getting the fuck out of here. Now, me being a 15-year-old boy, think to myself, finally, my dad's choosing me, getting rid of these women. He puts my shit in the car and we split. Now, I was so out of it, I didn't realize that he was driving her car. So I should have known something was up. He drives me approximately halfway home, pulls into a Dairy Queen, right? Pulls into a Dairy Queen, sets me on a concrete wall because I'm like this, gets me a couple of burgers and fries, goes to the trunk, pulls out my 2 garbage bags of belonging, reaches into my garbage bags and pulls out my pistols. Yes, we always owned guns. He looked at me and says, I'm taking these away from you because I'm worried you might use them on yourself, and I've taught you enough, you'll be fine. And he drove off. And he drove off. That was in Round Rock, Texas, I-35, I-59. You can see it today. You can see that same fucking Dairy Queen sitting there. And when you look at the Dairy Queen where they removed the little phone from the high wall of the gas station in front of it, that's where I was sitting 40 some odd years ago. And he left me. That was it. Somebody finally saw me, gave me some change, or called my sister, who stayed back in high school. She didn't go with us, and she came and got me. She took me to the family doctor. He couldn't treat me because I didn't live with the family more. And he says, I can't do this. So I never got the other leg set properly. I never got the other arm set properly. And the one arm and leg I did have, I didn't wait the whole time. I soaked them in my sister's apartment swimming pool until I could cut the fuckers off. And that's me. And that's my dad. And I love my dad. All of you know that. Now let's talk about my mom. German, came to America. I was born in Arkansas. Arkansas. A town, 50% black. My mom had me when she was 17. Oh, excuse me. My mom had me when she was 18 and had my one sister when she just turned 18. So had my one sister when she was 15, had my previous sister, my older sister, when she was 14. It's my dad. That's my mom. My mother had a problem. She was a drunk. Why? Because in Germany, she lived with a grandfather, my great-grandfather, who ran a bar and brothel and was the town mayor. And that's the environment she grew up in. But she had a very interesting fetish. She loved big black snake moaning, if you know what I mean. Now she lives in Arkansas and she's thinking, I'm at a fucking buffet. So while my dad's working, she's doing tons of black snake moan. My dad knows about it. He finally had enough when at the Mohawk Tire Company where he worked, two new guys are talking on his shift and they're really asking about this German girl who fuck anybody who come fuck her. My dad had enough and had come home at lunch and tell her it's over. I'm done with this. And when he came home after work, he walked, and I remembered this in my head. I just didn't remember the circumstances, but I remember the sound. I remember the breaking glass and everything else. But when he came through the door, he went to the bathroom, ran a bath because you're covered with black tar, powder stuff. He's taking a bath, and he said he heard the shotgun rack. He knew he was in trouble. He knew she was going to kill his ass. So he said he got to the door. He's in a towel. He opens the door, dives to the floor, and sure enough, she shoots. Across the bed where I'm laying and my two sisters are playing. Police come. Little black lady lived downstairs. I remember her taking us to the swings. I'm a toddler. I'm like not even about 2. I can remember all of this part vividly. Puts us in swing, waits for the police or whatever. My mother gets arrested. She gets out of jail. She takes up with a trucker, putting her pussy out there to roll truckers. She would lure the truckers. Beautiful woman. She would lure the truckers, and when she gets some pants down, they'd rob them. She was addicted to heroin. Raging drunk. I did not grow up with her. And she died about the time I was 24. I've only met her twice in my life. I won't go into that story. But my mother died of AIDS. Now, let me go back to your question. But do you know about her parents? Yet, I'm here. We have this dialogue every day, twice a day, 7 days a week. And you ask something like, but have you heard about her parents? See, you don't know her parents. You only know what other people say about parents. What the fuck do you think people say about my parents? And so that's a fallacy. It is a total fallacy. You get to decide whether you are your parents or not, whether you carry on their generational curses or not, or whether you fix it or not. Now, with that said, right? Parents are not always the ones we take after. And even if her fucking parents Well, rotten as a cord doesn't mean anything. By the way, my grandfather, a Nazi, and I'm a fucking Jew. And he married a Jew. You get it from your mother. But my grandfather was a Nazi. I've covered this before. He did it so the family would survive. And he eventually went to work for the Allies and became a double agent. They had to give him a brand new identity. I never knew much about him. Everybody thought he had died. No, he had been moved to Canada. I missed him by 6 months, finding him late in life. He died on me. That's my grandparent. So I tell you what, let's just stop with other people's bullshit, telling you stuff. A fucking person who's never had a job, but her parents, let me tell you about her parents. You are listening to people tell you their fucking opinion of somebody else's parent, and most of them regurgitating the same shit. Now, with that said, I'm only asking one thing of you. Open your mind. Set everything you've heard aside. Set everything you've heard from Candace or any other fucking person. Who the fuck is Candace? Why don't you reduce her to paper? She's illiterate too, but you think she's a rocket scientist telling you the truth, and everybody's in on it. Well, they're in on it for the clicks. I'm not. So pause. Now, I told you at the beginning, I didn't mean to go that far, but you asked the question. I take it as a message from God. I need to send this because that's what people are thinking. But have you looked at her parents? Did you look at her toes? Does she have red shoes? Does she have red tennis shoes? Has she ever said 7 rays of light? Has she ever had a black eye and done this? Knock it off. You are better than that. Knock it off. You may be pissed at me right now, but if you'll stick with me to the end, I'm just going to give you some things to think about. I don't care what your own opinion is. You are an adult. You can make up your own mind. My job is to share with you how the system does it to all of us, because if you don't know how they do it, you can't battle it. That's it. I don't care. I care what you choose. I would be lying if I didn't say that. But you're an adult. And we're going to have an adult discussion. And I'm going to give you adult facts. I'm not going to give you click facts. If I wanted clicks, I'd be showing you my anaconda. Boy, I'd be doing my Jovan OnlyFans. I don't do that. Anyway, slow down. I do not watch other people's programs. Let me tell you why I don't watch other people's programs. Because most of the people in other people's programs, if you set them aside from their program, they have no logical basis of even opining on what is going on and how it works. They have no basis in it. Because I don't trust that, and because I don't respect them, and I respect my time, I don't give them my time because I respect myself too much. If it is somebody that does have a background, right? It does have a background. I look for this particular commonality. Watch this.
Extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is 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 extremely dangerous to our democracy.
It can be right in front of your eyes and you can't see it. So here's a few questions. Out of all of you, just try to answer this one question. Is that okay? Just try to answer this one question. That's all I'm asking you to answer. That's all I want to know. I'll put them up on the screen. Did you like and respect, right? Did you like and respect Charlie Kirk? Yes or no? Did you like or respect Charlie Kirk? I just want you to put it, right, in chat. Did you like and respect Charlie Kirk. Now, right now in chat, I'm seeing a unanimous yes. So that's the first thing. Did you like and respect Charlie Kirk? Everybody's saying, oh my God, yes. Some are saying, no, I don't know him. I'm just saying from anything you've watched or seen about him. Some people saying, well, I never knew anything about him until it happened. Okay? That's the first part. Now, people have questions, right? Some people say she's pretty, but I can't read her heart. Well, that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to take a look at this from two angles. I'm going to give you the forensic angle first, and I think the forensic angle may help you understand a few things. And is my face red? Is my blood pressure up? Coffee gal, hope this lowers your blood pressure today. Thank you so much. It all goes to election integrity. God bless you and thank you. Everybody, Charlie did the right things for America. With a little I knew about him, he was great and consistent. Here it is. It's just period, right? Okay. Do you think Charlie Kirk was influential in what he did? That's the second question. Do you think Charlie Kirk, and I'm not talking about her yet, so save those. Do you think Charlie Kirk was influential? Okay. The last thing is, do you think Charlie Kirk and his body of work was moving the needle and saving young lives from liberalism? Okay. Good. Okay. Resounding, absolutely. I want you to keep that in your mind. Now, what we're going to do from a business standpoint is we're going to look analytically at Charlie, the institution. I asked you about Charlie, the man. There's the man, there's the institution. There's the man, there's the institution. You like the man, he moved the needle, and he basically saved lives. Okay? That's it. That's it. Now let's go into the analytics. You have pre and post Charlie. When you see Charlie in color, that's pre. When you see Charlie's color change, that's post. This is what Charlie built. He started in 2012. I mean, this kid was like right out of high school. And I got to tell you, there are very, very few people I truly admire and respect as a person and their intellect, because they're two different things. You can be a shit person, have great intellect. You can be a great person, have shit intellect. Charlie was the real deal. In my estimation, Charlie was destined to become president of the United States, a sorely needed president of the United States. So here we're going to begin our forensic journey, okay? Now, what you have to look at this is you have to look at this as pre-assassination. Pre-assassination. Okay? Pre-assassination. Their reach was about 3,000 high schools and college campuses combined. They had about 650,000 lifetime student members. Remember, they're members when they're in chapters, they're members otherwise. He had over 300 staff. He reached 1,873 campus chapters. And he did 1,700, meaning him, his people, etc., did 1,700 on-campus events that fiscal year. And Charlie would win any debate with facts. At that time, it also worked with 3,500 churches, and they trained nearly 10,000 pastors and church leaders. You're welcome to screenshot this. This is called pre-assassination. Pre-assassination. So that's one aspect of Charlie's life. The man was one of a kind. When I would see Charlie speak, I didn't think about it. He'd be a young whippersnapper. Not at all. I saw a wise, brilliant, methodical thinking man sharing facts only. I wish I could have been as calm as him. Charlie had a special gift. So this is pre. Now, we're going to use pre, okay, to answer the question, is Erika Kirk a honeypot inserted agent operative? Logic versus lunacy. And all I've asked you to do, forget what you've heard from Candace, forget what you've heard from Fuentes, forget what you heard from social media. Social media is shit. It's people who never had a career predominantly. All of a sudden, they get people to watch, they get clicks, they make some money. Maybe they're making 150 grand a year or something, and then it can go from there. And that's their new life as a podcaster. But I only want to answer one question. Is Erika Kirk a honeypot inserted agent operative? Now, if we have pre-assassination, then we must look at Charlie as post-assassination. Got it? Post-assassination. Here is Charlie from the optics of post-assassination. Okay? Charlie right here in pre was about an $85 million company. Charlie on his own, with his intellect, 100% under his lead and control. Yes, a nonprofit. Nonprofits have boards, but Charlie built that himself and did it. Chose the right people. The reason Turning Point grew to this is because Charlie could choose the right people. $85 million organization. Now put personalities aside. Let's look at the business, because a nonprofit is a business too. Let me tell you why. Do you know if you did a nonprofit and you raised $10 million to save the one-eyed lesbian lick-a-lot-of-pusses in Afghanistan, that as long as you just donate $1 to that cause and you keep the other, 9,999,999, you're still a nonprofit. There are no rules in that category of what you should give away under a nonprofit clause, or what you should operate at. Not at all. It's a business like any other business, but it happens to be tax-free. Okay? Let's look at post-Charlie. Here's what happened once Charlie was assassinated. Okay? Once Charlie was assassinated. Okay? Lynn Fries and Dan Patrick immediately gave $1 million. The first rush of donations at that time was $6 million. It rose to $10 million. Now, this is straight cash over and above what they already do. This is cash over and above what they do. Cash. It was $10 million within months. Okay? Period. And yeah, at that taking in money and not doing shit Clinton initiative. Now, Turning Point USA received, when this happened, anywhere between 54,000 and 60,000 brand new inquiries. I want to start a Turning Point. I want to start up a Turning Point chapter. We're talking in days. In days. 62,000 inquiries came in 8 days. Within a month, it was over 140,000 inquiries about starting chapters. We're not talking about guns, knock it off. We're talking about Charlie. I want to stay on fucking topic. It's not about calibers. It's not about declinations. And no, in that particular shot, a 30-06 wouldn't have blown his head off because he didn't take a headshot. Focus. This is why we lose. Focus. You're talking about other shit people talk about. I'm not. I'm talking about the shit you don't know. In an organization that might get 100 or 2 inquiries in a year, okay? 102 inquiries in a year. Is this a program about does the shooter story add up? No. What's this story about? Is Erika Kirk a honeypot inserted agent operative? I can actually sit on a witness stand and testify about bullet trajectory, caliber, and impact. Most people can't, but everybody makes assumptions. Here we go. Fuck. This is what upsets me the most about America. It doesn't fucking matter that our country's being destroyed. We can't focus. And the shit we can't focus on is what other fucking dumbasses said. How can you not see that? You actually fell for
Extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
You swear you're on it. It just fucking amazes me. Okay. 140,000 inquiries in a few months about starting at chapters. Every chapter jumped through the roof. Just take Indiana University. It did 101.67% increase in its membership. In case you don't know, that's doubled. In case you don't know, that's doubled. Here's why you don't know this shit. Well, I looked at the trajectory angle of the kid who was a drag queen sucking on a transvestite, and it was a 30-06 bullet, and it was it. Fucking people. It disgusts me. Let me tell you why it disgusts me personally. I can sit here teaching, and I still got people that fucking are in my class, and all they do is eat the fucking book covers. Fucking start scraping the boogers off the bottom of your desk and have lunch. Turn away, but at least don't comment. I'm showing my age, aren't I? That's within a mere month. Before, this is what they were, about an $85 million concern. Class. I don't want to get my sister Mary Elephant on, so knock it off. Here's the next slide you need to know. They immediately, these are the numbers reported now, 900 college chapters, 1,200 plus high school chapters, 2,100 plus student chapters. It was the fastest growth ever. It was a super pipeline, okay? From the chapter request, not member request, not can I give you money, how can I help? 18,000 new chapter requests. 18,000. That means he covered every damn county in the United States of America. Do you get it? %16 of Arkansas high schools right after that event now have their own Club America chapters. That's called the multiplication effect. And let me tell you why I even get upset about the distraction. Because you listen to this shit and you don't audit any of it. You don't audit anybody's background. Just wait when I show you this. You're gonna flip. But you're talking about stuff. Somebody who doesn't know their ass from a hole in the ground is, number one, making up, and they're paid to say, and you never question it. Fucking go register as a Democrat and learn Muslim and Chinese as you add it, because that's what we'll get. If you don't embrace how your mind gets captured, your mind will always be captured. You either want to set yourself free or you fucking don't. And it's in every fucking category of your life, folks. You cannot sit here and go, well, the 30-06 was this, and it would talk. You cannot sit in that state, there's an operative, and think we're going to win this war. Because remember, they got to keep you distracted in chaos. They fucking captured your brain. I'm trying to unlock it. Here's what happened immediately. Let's go to the next level. Okay? Let's just go to the next level. Out of all of these inquiries, if they would have converted 33%. Now, the reason we chose 33% is because that was kind of the growth everywhere. Look at Arkansas, right? That was the growth in Arkansas alone, 33%. So we kind of took those numbers and we ran some financial analytics. Here's what you need to know. They would have gone, if they did that, they would have gone from an $85 million a year operation, the numbers aren't released yet, to an $807 million operation. The value, because remember, these are boots on the ground, real people, boots on the ground with influence bringing people in, boots on the fucking ground. The enterprise value of that is $1.7 billion. You beginning to wake up yet? Now, who would want that? Who would want that organization, which is a nonprofit, which has a board, and they can vote in and out CEOs? Who would fucking want control of that? The Dems? No way. Because they say, okay, cut off your dicks and cut off your tatas. No, everybody would leave. So who would want it? The GOP. There you go, folks. It's about influence and fucking reach. Now let's peel that way back. Let's just peel it way back. Don't even take their own numbers. And let's just scale it way ass back. This is how much they would have grown even if they just had 1% growth. %3 growth, 5% growth, 8% growth. You pick where it is. Look at the numbers in chapters. At 8% growth, that would be 11,700 chapters. There's only 3,300 roughly counties in the United States of America. Got to look something up real quick. This is what pisses me off. Nobody does their homework. Get ready for this. You ready? How many high schools in the United States of America? 26,727. Do you understand what this means? Post-death, added to what they have, they would become close to covering almost every high school in the United States of America. Understand your numbers, folks. Next, let's just go way back. Let's don't go that we got a 33% conversion, which you can audit and see it, okay? Where you can audit. Let's just say it was 5%. That turns this into a $330 million enterprise, which is a nonprofit. And if you can convince the people in the organization and the board, the leader's bad, the leaders go, they put another one in. This is what is fucking under attack. How do they get rid of Erika? You got it. They've got to convince you Erika's bad so they can move the board, so they can get control of something that's anywhere from worth $330 million to potentially as high as $1.7 billion. And you know what they already have? The names, the addresses, the phone numbers. It ain't the DNC that wants this, baby. It's the fucking GOP that wants this. The future of the GOP grew, put your hat on, grew because of Donald Trump and MAGA. And the GOP fucking hates Donald Trump. They want him out. So they're now selling you a program that MAGA is dead. Have you not paid attention? While they are trying to capture this. Because the growth is not going to come from us old fucking fogies, folks. The growth is going to come from the young minds. The growth is going to come from young minds. This is ultimately a billion-dollar play. But they said the bullet and the trans guy was a test, and it looks like somebody's French, and he was wearing red shoes, and the microphone shot him, and the Secret Service guy shot him too, and it wasn't really a tent. It was all a facade. Do you know where our biggest revival and waking up is in America right now to this bullshit? And don't fall for these fucking conspiracy theories. High school and college kids. Isn't it interesting? Who controls that market? Who controlled that market? Who was controlling the college and university market? Well, the liberals and the deep state. Now, they would certainly want Charlie dead. But Charlie was so authentic, so true, so logical, so factual, so clear and so concise, he was winning souls. So, yes, they could have wanted him out to stop his growth, but here's the deal. Let's look at a honeypot now. Now we're going to look at the personal side, can we? Now we're going to look at the personal side. Because you don't even consider it. I'm going to get very crude here. You said you loved Charlie. You said he was a logical thinker. You said he was a great godly man, but yet he got fooled by a good-looking pussy? Are you fucking kidding me? You just shit on Charlie. You just shit on Charlie's legacy. The very thing you swear you're not doing. And what'd they do? Even they did this in old times. They would say, well, she was a prostitute. They do that in church days to degrade the woman. And what the fuck are they doing right now? What the fuck are they doing right now? Trying to convince you, it's bullshit. That recording was bullshit. They're trying to fucking convince you she was recruiting for Epstein. Let me tell you what a honeypot is. I'll tell you from personal experience. Anytime I go to Mar-a-Lago doing my work, you walk into Mar-a-Lago, it's like a fucking network of high-price honeypots. They fucking stick on you like Weiss. And it ain't because they heard my nickname's the Anaconda. It's because they're fucking trying to compromise you. I've talked about this before. That's the game. Also, newsflash, honeypots are short-term relationships to get in for compromising information. Honeypots are short-term operations to get information. Is she so fucking stupid and slow it took her 2 babies and more to get into that position? Honeypots don't beget your kids. Let's look at Mitch McConnell or some of these other guys who are compromised by China. Was that a honeypot? Fuck no. That was a fucking partnership. They have partnerships with bad people. And that's how they get intel back and forth and cover it, because they got a Chinese national in there with them. Right? Do you understand what I'm saying? Those are partnerships. Don't think that's a fucking honeypot. This person that was discussing this, what about Mitch McConnell? That's not a honeypot. That is an opportunistic partnership like Eric Swallowwell's. Don't confuse the two. Those honeypots are in and out, set you up, fucking ruin your life. They don't marry you. They don't have your kids. It's not a long-term intelligence game, folks. It's screw the shit out of you, do all the kinky shit you like, get you to tell your secrets, they're out and they destroy you. But see, you can't even think logically through that. You don't even know what a honeypot is. You just know it's a piece of punani that's good looking. You don't even understand the logistics of all this stuff. It's a rob them, fucking blind, and destroy them. Did they do that for Charlie? No. Did she, in a honeypot operation, she was just so bad at it and so fucking ugly she had to poop out kids? No. No. See, the game is to get a hold of this juggernaut. And she's not Fang Fang for Bang Bang. The goal was to get hold of this juggernaut. What's standing in their way? The very woman you're doubting. They fucking won. And you're shedding on Charlie. Let me tell you, you're shedding on Charlie. Charlie was a pussy addict. Charlie didn't have discernment. He had fucking discernment to build a juggernaut operation and get the right people in. He had discernment to fucking get rid of Candace, which was a honeypot, which was a con. He saw it. He booted her ass. No, if you looked at her parents, she had red shoes, 7 rays of light. This is a play. And the play, ready? The play is to get a hold of the most valuable growth sector in the possible GOP. Churches didn't embrace the GOP. Churches embraced MAGA, and they certainly embraced Turning Point, but they did not embrace the GOP. Do you understand the game yet? Oh, but all these conservative, there you go. You know exactly who's getting paid for this shit. But she doesn't cry. No, because she cried at the funeral, and when she's there at Turning Point, she does what a CEO does. She's a CEO. She has the ability. But nobody ever passes on to the wife. Bullshit. I went and I showed you how many senators pass on their seat, how many congressmen pass on seats to wives, right? She hasn't even had time to grieve. You know why? Because the machine turned on when they saw the growth and it went through the roof. We got to get this bitch out of here. You know what she made a choice for? She made a choice for America. Oh, you don't trust Trump? And he made her one of the ambassadors to the Air Force. And then somebody comes up, I hear she's being groomed for a VIP. Who'd you hear that from? The kid that worked at Taco Bell 5 years ago? How can anybody even say that? How can anybody even say that? And everywhere Candace been, she's been booted. Her husband just got booted from a big board. He's been booted from every board he's in. He got booted from a big board because $24 million kind of just, they can't account for. And he's gone. That makes her vulnerable. She got used to the cash because she got elevated. Now she needs more cash. What do? Well, I'm just going to sell this bullshit story. And people fall for it. What are you falling for? An age-old practice.
Extremely dangerous to our democracy. This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous.
But you swear to God, you're clear on this, you know it. And because you heard it on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Rumble, podcast, it must be true. And you question her more than the person you're hearing this shit from, and you haven't even looked into their lives. Here's the play, in case you didn't get it. I don't believe Charlie was a punani chaser. You cannot convince me of that. I don't believe Charlie was anything but 1,000% authentic. If anybody walked their talk and was a godly man, it was Charlie Kirk. We would be a blessed nation if we had 1,000 of those individuals. We'd thrive. The system knew eventually he'd be president and he would be just like Trump and he couldn't be compromised. I do believe the system took him out, right? But now you got to look at who wants to control. Yes, he had something that they coveted very well. He could load a room, do events. He could load a room. But it exploded after his death. Now, let me tell you something about operatives, deep state, or whatever. Do you think in 2020, the deep state operated on, we got 50-50 chances of making this happen? Mims max 22, 13 minutes, I'll never get back. Why don't you qualify that? Tell me 13 minutes you didn't get back. Qualify what it is. Maybe I'll set you free so you can go get 13 minutes somewhere else. Do you think the deep state, in taking over 2020, he fell for a blonde, cute girl. Did he know her truly? You're coming in late. Oh, so Charlie was a pussy chaser. William Jack. Yeah, that's what Charlie was known for. Charlie could get lured by a good-looking girl and put all of his values and ethics and everything aside. You really believe that about Charlie? You haven't thought that one through, have you? No, nobody thinks it through because that's what they're hearing out there. So I'm going to go back. In the 2020 election, that operation that was wrong, thank you for qualifying. It was a phone call. I'm glad I didn't have a knee-jerk reaction, Min-Max. Thank you. They pulled out all the stops to guarantee their win. That means they were 100% confident their operation was running smoothly. Can we agree on that? When they did the election and they did what they did, right? They were 100% sure they could pull it off. That's what they did. And we're not talking about a lone wolf gun person. Don't go there. We're talking about Erika. They were 100%. Now think about this one. Let's play out the honeypot thing. Okay, ready? Get ready. If Erika was a honeypot inserted agent, gonna trap him with her, not her gorilla grip like Fulton County Willie Fanny Willie, or Willie's Fanny or Fanny's Fanny. I don't remember, but you know what I'm saying. And it has to happen over years because she can't find anything. She's so locked in, she has the babies. They throw up their hands and say, fuck it, let's kill him. To get the organization that's a juggernaut. Well, see, that's still a 50-50 chance. Did anybody know it would explode after Charlie's death? You have no way of knowing that. You have no way of knowing that. Did they question Erika before Charlie's death? No. Charlie ran a great organization and picked a great woman. That woman wasn't a honeypot, because if she was the worst honeypot ever. He chose a great woman based on his ethics, his values, his morals. Then he got killed and it fucking exploded and the GOP wants it. So what do? She's an agent. She's a honeypot. She's this. And they get people by paying them to say it. And then you got all these people that are wannabes. Well, they got 500,000 views on that. Maybe I say the same thing. My views will go up. Maybe if I talk about it, my views will go up because those fucking people have no ethics. and will say anything. They're just trying to be also rans with the other crowd. Oh, maybe I can get some of that money if I say the same thing. Why? Because the GOP wants this more than you can imagine. Because they think, fucking A, we get the high school students, we get all these chapters. It's ours. And by the way, this is what the GOP does. In case you didn't know it, right after the election, not even 2 weeks, I came out saying it wasn't mail-in ballots that why they got it, because these weren't mail-in ballots. They're not fucking folded. What happened? 100 million plus views. Boom. Then what they start doing? Shutting it down, attacking me. Then what did they do? Place their people in. Well, here's our guys in election integrity. And they built a whole network pushing people away from full forensic audits. They pushed it to machines. That's what the GOP does. They can't own it and buy it out. They take it over. They'll destroy what was there. Because it's a numbers game. You got to understand the ability not only for Charlie's organization to train, but to cultivate incredible Republicans and to be a cash fucking cow in a struggling GOP. There it is. So what are you seeing? In my opinion, you're seeing a play in the system to take over the giant that really moves things. That's it. And you're getting your information from people that have no background, that kind of came out of nowhere. I talk about elections being rigged. I get banned from YouTube, lose 255 or 59,000 followers. Bang. Took me years to get back on YouTube. Years. But you get other guys that just happen to be former FBI, former CIA. They get on, and within months, they have 2 million followers. How does that happen? Because it's controlled. It's all controlled. And so what you're watching right now under the guise of, oh, well, she was a honeypot. She was inserted. Look at her parents. Did you see their dog? Yeah. We get into that shit. By the way, have you seen Caitlyn Jenner's new dog? Have y'all seen it on TV? Caitlyn Jenner's new dog? It's a cat. All of this is for distractions. Period. 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 Now, I'm talking about Erika. I'm talking about Erika. Am I talking about Erika? Yes. All of it. I'm not stopping my mouth until people wake up and realize Donald Trump is doing. The AI is controlling your life, and it's going to take your jobs, and they want robots. Elon Musk thinks robots give birth. It's disgusting. Can anybody translate this to Erika for me? Anybody? I know Tamsy buys into this shit nonstop and posts it. Can anybody translate that to, is Erika Kirk a honeypot inserted agent operative? But you can't take hundreds and hundreds of people and chat, boom, and you can swap them to a different topic. You know why we lose? Because we can't stay focused. You know who makes sure we can't stay focused? The fucking system. Have you not even watched my ongoing series of how this is done? Yeah, people's attention span is that of a fucking gnat. And I'm telling you, when they get you with a story, that's all you're going to fucking talk about. The system knows it. The system knows it. The system knows it. And so what you're watching going on right now is an $85 million organization that Charlie built on his own and fully controlled, all under his directive, all based on good choices for 300 people. Actually had a vetting process. You didn't get to become a chapter just because you asked or paid a fee. They had a vetting process. Period. Yes, Caitlyn Jenner's dog. Have you seen her dog? Yeah, it's a cat. Was meant to be a joke. That's how. And somebody will probably repeat it. But you understand, this is an $85 million organization they were watching that was run pristine in a crooked world, that was making a difference in a crooked world. Post-death, it exploded. And when you look at that exploding and you look at how much growth and compare it to other, this thing has the potential very quickly of being anywhere from an $800 million operation to a $1.7 billion operation. And even if we just take the lowest numbers, 1%, 2%, it's worth $330 million, but it's everywhere. It has many more reaches than just every single county in the United States of America. That's what this is, folks. That's all this is. But they know the more wild they make it sounding, the more you'll believe it. That's how people are. I'm not one of those people. So aside from not watching other people's program, even people I love, like Mel K, I don't watch Mel K's program, and I love her to death. I don't want to be influenced by anybody else except my own intellect and research abilities and God guiding me. And that's it. So I don't watch it. It allows me to stand back and look at it. The other side of it is, because of the full forensic audit stuff, and I know what the racket is, I want to make sure when I sit in the witness stand, they don't say, well, were you to follow Stop the Steal rally? Did you follow? And I can say, no, I wasn't. Never have been, never been it, don't even know. I just want you to understand. And I'm telling you, even some of the most powerful people that I believe are smart fall for these fucking rumors. It is fucking ridiculous. It is ridiculous. You knew mainstream media was bad. You knew it was bullshit. And you can even take all these different networks and they say the same thing and you still don't see it.
Extremely dangerous to our democracy. This is
even a democracy. The system wants you to know it's a democracy.
Extremely dangerous to our democracy. This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Now, when you all of a sudden see wild-ass topics, right? Going honeypot inserted agent, and you see it everywhere. Is it because it's true? Or is it because that's what the system wants to sell you? And it's coordinated. This is how it works, folks. This is why I'm the most hated man in the room among the GOP and stuff. Why they won't debate me, because I can call them out and stuff and give them the numbers and facts. I'm giving you the numbers and facts. That's why election integrity people won't debate me, because I call out their bullshit. And now I'm calling out this bullshit here to our own family. Folks, we're at war. We're at war. And unbeknownst to you, every time, well, have you looked at her parents? Well, I don't know. I won't. She's good looking, but I don't know her heart. This is war. And you don't even realize how many times you, a good person, with pure intentions, wanting to fight to save our great republic, how many times you get recruited to the other side. And you don't even know it. Even now, people think we are at war with Iran. No, we're solving a nuke and terrorist problem. Nobody had that problem when we bombed their nuke facility, so why is it now? We can't even look back a few months. It was all fine bombing their nuke facility. Right thing to do. It's like Joe Kemp. I can't have this war, and I'm stepping down. When you go back a year ago or go back to 2020, saying we've got to immediately go in and wipe Iran out. It's politics, folks. And you're the puppet. You are the actual needle and syringe. And when you draw from their well of bullshit knowledge, you are drawing in that infected vaccine that they want everybody to take. And so they turn you into a fucking syringe. They suck you in by saying the most ridiculous things. And then you go around inoculating people. You're the infection or the cure. The bottom line is I think we're the cure. But to be the cure, you've got to be consistent. You've got to be ethical. You've got to be moral. And you've got to be able to look at things. Believe nothing and fucking don't even believe me. Do your own homework. When I do this, I am sharing with you what I see from my business acumen, right? From my intellectual abilities, from my forensic abilities, and we're having a discussion. I always tell you, you're the adult in the room, make your own damn decision. But I'm always going to tell you like it is. Some people hate my guts because I call out Mike Lindell. Do I call out Mike Lindell because I hate Mike Lindell? No, I actually like Mike Lindell. I love Mike Lindell. I just think he's an idiot. With ADD, doesn't pay attention. But I can still love somebody for it. Even Shiva and his stuff in the signatures. I wouldn't piss on him if he was fired, but I still acknowledge he did some good work in particular things because I can do that. Folks, we're the cure. But they've turned everybody into these hypodermic needles going around spreading infections. And we do it willingly. And they didn't pay you shit to do it. Why? Because they sucked you in through somebody else who got paid to say it. And because you like the person and you've never investigated their background, you repeat it. Didn't do a forensic audit. It was kinematic, nothing. Not on that. Doesn't have a patent. Puts his names on other people's patents. How fucking stupid is that? But I do know you want to piss off people, tell them the truth. All I did today is tell you the truth. Charlie built something big. $85 million making it. And when he died, it exploded. And the value of that operation, because of that growth, of what it will become is anywhere between $800 and $1.7 billion and reach you cannot imagine, reach that any politician in the world doesn't happen, but the GOP would love to have. And so the rhinos, right? Where do I get my research and facts from? You can actually do this yourself because it's a nonprofit organization and you can pull all of their records and all of their numbers. You can see it for yourself. You can look at the forms because they have to report just like a public company or they lose their status. This show is about Erika Kirk only. And so when I'm posed the question, is Erika Kirk a honeypot? Well, if she was the fuckest, dumbest, slowest, worst one there was. Was she an inserted agent operative? She failed at her mission. She'd have been killed if she was agency because she now knows too much and she failed. But here's what I know. Charlie Kirk was one of the best men that ever walked this planet. Known for his faith, known for his ethics, known for his stick-to-itiveness. You saw it in his work. You loved it in his work. You know it. 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 And yet, you actually believe Charlie was chasing pussy and got trapped. How disgusting is that? And that's what it comes down to. You are choosing rhetoric that has Charlie turning over in his grave. We would see Charlie come unglued at this rhetoric. We would see a man of God become a fucking warrior, ripping these heads off. But yet, he's gone, and you're doing it. And that's shameful. And that's human nature. because we love great, salacious, horrible, fallacious stories. The GOP's the culprit, the bad GOP. They want that organization because the future is with those kids. And when they know that already liberals have hold of colleges and universities, and that conservatives most likely will never get a hold of it, they're gone. Guess who got a hold of colleges, universities, and high school? Charlie. It's what the GOP now wants to counterbalance the liberals. And they will do anything they can to make the world believe Erika's an inserted honeypot. They'll pay millions to disperse her. So they get her out, get control of the board, and it becomes theirs. And I'm telling you, with all my soul, that is what's going on. I love you all. Stop falling for this shit. And by the way, if you didn't verify it yourself, don't repeat it. This is war, folks. You've been drug into this war. Tell you what, why don't you stop being the vaccine that infects everybody in the hypodermic needle, and why don't you decide to be the cure by thinking logically, methodically, understanding what the stakes are. And we can win this, and we can save our country. I love you all. Please share this program.
Rennie Good was a gifted soul, a writer and a poet and a mother, wow. She tried to hit an agent with her car, oh no! Pop, motherfucker, now she's gone! Yeah, yeah, yeah! Being a fucking liberal is a mental disease. Blue-headed fuckables with the septum ring. You are not a hero, you're a fucking disease! You fuck around and find out it's what it is! Jeffrey Pretty was a Jewish homo. Started talking shit to protect a chomo. He was getting nicked when he pulled a gun. Bam, motherfucker, now you're gone! Yeah, yeah, yeah! Being a fucking liberal is a mental disease. Blue-headed fuckables with a septum ring. You are not a hero, you're a fucking disease! Fuck around and find out what that is!
Not fixing 2020 will damn our nation forever. The historic Maricopa County full forensic audit effort processed 20,895,610 digital and forensic images of varying formats, resulted in 208 million individual evidence-proof files. The system processed over 58 billion forensic measurements, resulting in over 2 trillion individual base computations. No hopium, no hype, just hardcore forensic evidence. Please make sure the Maricopa County Full Forensic Audit Archives survive. Donate now. So if you want what happened in the 2020 election fixed, then please donate to protect and secure this historic evidence. We can't do it without you. We need you. America needs you. Our courts are based on clear and convincing evidence. Want convictions? Want justice? For what happened in the 2020 election? Then we need your help. Not fixing 2020 will damn our nation forever. The decision you make in the next few moments could decide whether we ever get our elections fixed or not. Here's why. Trump campaign and allies filed 64 different lawsuits. They all went down in flames. 100% of these cases were presented on "It's the Machines," or "The Machines changed the votes," or "The voting company executive said he would make sure Donald J. Trump would not win." They all went down in flames. Why? You can't bring theories to court as evidence. No supposed Zoom call or 6-degree polynomial math theory or census data is or ever will be proof of fraud. You can't bring theories to court as evidence. Here's why. In both civil and criminal law, the side making a claim carries the burden of proof, and prosecutors must prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Without physical or otherwise verifiable evidence, A case cannot meet this high threshold. Physical evidence is the key. The question is, did anyone get relevant, reliable, provable, testable, and duplicatable evidence of what really happened in the 2020 general election? And the answer is yes, absolutely. The full forensic audit of Maricopa County, Arizona is the only evidence-gathering work which gathered relevant, reliable, provable, testable, and duplicatable evidence of what really happened in the 2020 general election. Evidence so damning that the system, the deep state, and those who pull the strings of this country have fought to keep it hidden and have hoped to have it be forgotten to time. Almost $3 million invested in time, funds, and efforts to unlock that which the system wanted hidden. But now, that evidence is in danger of being lost forever. So if you want what happened in the 2020 election fixed, then we need your help. Please donate to protect and secure this historic evidence. With the 2026 midterms coming up, the system is going to try to lame duck President Trump and then most likely introduce new impeachment proceedings. This is the evidence which will help win the war which is surely to come. We need to keep Maricopa County full forensic investigation and archive secure and ongoing. So if you want what happened in the 2020 election fixed, then we need your help. Please donate to protect and secure this historic evidence. We need your help securing the full forensic audit archives. Don't allow the only testable, objective, and reliable 2020 election evidence fall into obscurity. Millions were spent on getting it documented and tested. This is historic evidence. Not fixing 2020 will damn our nation forever. The historic Maricopa County full forensic audit effort processed 20,895,610 digital and forensic images of varying formats, resulted in 208 million individual evidence-proof files. The system processed over 58 billion forensic measurements, resulting in over 2 trillion individual base computations. No hopium, no hype, just hardcore forensic evidence. Please make sure the Maricopa County full forensic audit archives survive. Donate now. So if you want what happened in the 2020 election fixed, then please donate to protect and secure this historic evidence. We can't do it without you. We need you. America needs you. Our future needs you. Please donate now. Not fixing 2020 will damn our nation forever. Please donate now.